Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to Scotch Sunday. I am Mark, and welcome to the Christmas edition of my channel. And today we have Glenfiddich Winter Store, just in time for Christmas. I'll go ahead and pour this. So, this is one of my favorites. You're not going to find too many. I'm obviously almost done. This is done with this bottle. This is batch one. They made at least 2 batches that I'm aware of. Okay, so anyway, I've done some Glenfiddich before. This is part of the experimental series. Part one, number 1 was the IPA casks. Number 2 was the double X or 20, however you want to do it. Third one, this is the 3rd one, and the 4th one was Fire and Cane, and then that was the last one they did in that experimental series. So, okay, so Glenfiddich is a Speyside single malt Scotch. They're produced by William and Grant and Sons, who's owned the distillery since its founding in 1886. They first distilled on Christmas Day, 1887. They've never been mothballed. They actually, during Prohibition, they even increased production. They're the second most sold Scotch in the world. They're located in Dufftown, Scotland. Glenfiddich means Valley of the Deer, and they're the most sold, and they're the most best-selling single malt, and they're the most awarded single malt. They account for about 32% of all single malts, and they're actually responsible for the single malt category. When other distilleries were during the decline in the 1960s and 70s, they began expanding and then kind of created the single malt at that time. And they've never been mothballed, and they have 32 Swan Neck stills. They employ their own coppersmiths, their own cooperage. They use a direct firing method, and they make about 3.5 million gallons of whiskey a year. As you'll see with all their new marketing, this kind of triangular with the 3 sides. You'll see it on the 12, the 15, the 18, the Fire and Cane. They all have this 3 sides, and basically it stands for the water, yeast, and barley, the 3 main ingredients of Scotch. And anyway, so this is a 21-year-old. Let me go ahead and roll this. 21-year-old, and it's 21 years in Ex-Bourbon casks, and then followed by 6 months in Icewine casks. So to tell you about Icewine, they actually use Icewine from Canada. I think Germany also makes Icewine. Icewine is a wine it's a dessert wine. It's very, very sweet. I've actually had Icewine. I don't drink a lot of wine, but I have had Icewine just because of this. I wanted to find out what is Icewine like. So anyway, it's very sweet. The grapes have to actually be frozen. They're harvested allegedly at moonlight when the temperature is at -10 Celsius and Fahrenheit, which at -10, those are the numbers are the same. So, and the grapes, because they get frozen, they push the water out, makes it more of the sugars, makes it very sweet, and it allows it to be higher ABV. So, okay, I have to take this off to at least nose this, so let me go ahead and show it to you. As you can see, it's very dark. I don't know, it's all 43% ABV, so there might be color in there. Couldn't say, although it is 21 years, so it's pretty old. So let me go ahead and read to you what it says on here. Winter Storm is aged for 21 years and finished in small batches of Icewine casks from Canada. It is best enjoyed with a frozen grape in a frozen glass. I'm not doing that. A limited edition, when it's gone, it's gone, just like a winter snow. So the packaging is huge. So let's see what it says on here. This is number 3, but I swear. Oh, experimental series number 3. This is batch 1. Okay. So Glenfiddich experimental series Winter Storm is aged for at least same thing I just read. Inside it's got a pretty, double thing where you can see all the way through. So anyway, okay, so Brian Kinsman, our malt master, is constantly on the lookout for ingenious inventions in Scotch whiskey. So he traveled to Canada. He made a point of visiting a winemaker at a renowned winery in Niagara. Despite the frenzied January weather, Brian braved the tour of the vineyards, where he learned how the grapes had to be picked by moonlight at -10 Celsius, which is also -10 Fahrenheit. when they were hard as pebbles. These stories about the extreme conditions and the unique production process of the intense sweet ice wine were inspirational. And then on the back, when Brian returned to the Glenfiddich distillery in Dufftown, he started experimenting with several French oak ice wine casks from the Canadian winery, filling them with different Glenfiddich aged malts up to 6 months. What he found fascinated him. Only the rarer whiskeys, those aged for 21 years, could cope with the extra ice wine intensity. Having more tannins extracted from years in oak, these malts brought out a uniquely fresh leach note instead of being swamped by sweetness. The taste is perfect combination of both pioneering liquids and heightened candied sweets, and oakiness of Glenfiddich are complemented by mouth-watering tropical fruit notes and a luscious sweetness from the unique ice wine cask finish. Okay, got all that down. Blah. All right, so let's get into what I get here on the nose. I do. Whoa. Gonna have to take it off, I guess. Okay. I do get the oak. Very sweet vanilla. It's like creme brulee. Looks like a I won't say. I would say coconut, maybe? Sweet, sweet, sweet. It's like sweet oak. Vanilla, creme brulee, sweetness. Some tropical coconut in there. Yeah, very, very delicious. I love this. I love this. I'm surprised how much oak I get. I don't know if I've ever really tried to nose it this much before, but all right, onto the palate. Because of the low ABV, you could put it in your mouth forever. Honeydew, oaky. I'm not getting much spice or vanilla at all. It's very sweet, obviously. Short finish, and yeah, that's kind of what I get. Let me see if there's anything else I get on the nose. No, kind of the same. Maybe some plums in there, some like sugared plums. Very creamy, vanilla-y on the nose, but the palate really not intense at all. Yeah, that honeydew melon, sweet, candy, like I said, I think sugar plums is a good comparison. Okay, yeah, this could benefit from higher ABV for sure, but it is what it is. It's delicious. I'm going to give it an 8. We'll see you next time.